What's up, guys? This is JD Rich here, coming back at you with another One Piece video. Now, as you all know, the spoilers are out and everything. We covered that in the last video. But this time, I want to talk about something. There's a point in the spoilers where it mentions a woman, you know what I'm saying, allegedly having a red-haired woman holding two twin babies, or pushing them in a carriage or stroller or whatnot. You know, when I was online earlier today, I was looking at some of the because you know the anime, it gets revealed, I think maybe a day early or just early in general in Japan, you know, naturally, right? So I saw a couple of panels of the new chapter, and it looks amazing. You know, I've seen a panel with Rox and Roger staring each other down, and Roger looks like Ace with like stubble, you know what I'm saying, beard stubble and whatnot. Now, there's a point in the panel where they show a woman at God Valley apparently walking through the streets, pushing a carriage, pushing like a baby stroller or whatever, a carriage, I guess, you know, a baby carriage or whatever. There are two twins inside the carriage. There's one happy sticking his arms out. I assume it's Shanks. He's on the right. But as we would, in our vision, if you're looking at it, Shanks would be on the right side, but he's really on the left. Then on the other side, the left as we see it, but really the right, you got Shamrocks. Now Shamrocks is just, he's got like rosier cheeks, more rosy than Shanks, you know. Now what sticks out to me is this: with this woman being here in this spoiler, and soon here in the next chapter that we're gonna get introduced to, probably tomorrow or if not the day after, with this woman coming into the fray as of now, we finally get to meet Shanks' mother, Shamrock's mother as well. But who is she, and what significance does her background have? Now, I have made predictions. This is just my predictions. Something tells me that this woman is a Portgas family member. For some reason, I've always felt that Portgas D Rouge, that name, like she's not. It's not just that she's a D, but you know, D are the natural enemies of the gods or whatnot, right? But God Valley, if you really take for instance God Valley, separate the D, Go D Valley, God D Valley, you know, like could God Valley be like secretly be the valley of the D's, or some connect? I don't know I believe there's a bigger connection behind God Valley and the D clan that we have yet to get revealed to. But also Portgas D Rouge, that name, man, it's something. It's not just the D in the name. The name Portgas, it sounds like it's connected to some type of nobility or royal relation in some way. When I mean royal relation, I mean like the family probably has significant prominence of connected ties to celestials and nobles, and maybe they were offered, like my prediction is, maybe the Portgas family were offered some sort of higher stake or claim, you know, for status as a family, and also connection to the nobles, the celestials and whatnot, and maybe the family refused it. But it said in the spoilers that Garling saw something that would please the Great One, and it connects back to this red-haired woman pushing these twin babies. Now, it said that Shanks is allegedly the child of destiny, but there were two children born, Shanks and Shamrock. So, also, from what it's shown in the spoilers, it seems that Garling would not be the father of either Shanks or Shamrock. I've been saying this for the longest, that Garling is not their father. Well, not Shanks' father. I actually did assume that Garling was Shamrock's dad. I did. But getting this spoiler, it tells me that Garling adopted Shamrocks. Maybe by force. But remember, Shanks was found in a treasure chest aboard Zevic's ship. So God Valley, we know that there was a rabbit hunting contest where they would kill slaves for points or whatnot, and there were prizes to be won. Shanks and Shamrocks could have been these prizes. They could have been inside the midst of these treasure boxes, because we see that Big Mom stopped Ivankov from eating Kaido's fruit, taking some treasure boxes for herself to steal the fruit. Kuma ate the paw fruit, but there were devil fruits there in the treasure boxes. There were also other things there in the treasure boxes, including possibly 2 newborn infants in different boxes. One of these children were going to be the child of destiny, or it could have been both of them. Like, they could both be the child or children of fate, meaning that there's something big, that there's a big role that both of them have to play within this world. Shanks specifically helping usher in, I guess, balance, but also ushering in the new protege to take over for the next King of the Seas, Luffy. Shamrock, I don't know what his purpose could be. I don't know. To stop Shanks, maybe? I'm not sure. But Shamrock has a very significant role to play in the upcoming story. Very prominent, and he's going to be very important, not just being Shanks' brother, but his role and his actions that may take place during and after this flashback. Now, the woman, the red-haired woman that's carrying both of them, I believe this is my theory. I believe that she is the elder sister of Portcullis D. Rouge. Now, we know nothing about Rouge, really, except that she stayed on Balteria to basically to hold Ace. You know, she held Ace for like 20 months on Balteria, on that island. And it was like a tropical island as well. She had, you know, Rouge has an hibiscus flower. I think that flower, for some reason, I got a feeling. These are just my thoughts and predictions, guys. I'm trying to back it up. I'm looking for more evidence, but just hear me out. We know Rouge was on Balteria Island when she heard of Roger's death and everything like that, but I don't think Balteria, if I'm saying that right, I don't think that that's her origin home, like her home of origin, where she was born and actually grew up at. I think that was just an island Roger probably helped her get to, or sent a message for her to go to basically help out in, I guess, safely retiring, you know? Because God Valley, we know Shanks was 1 year old during the events of God Valley. We also know that Shamrocks was presumably 1 year old as well, because they're twins. Now, Portcullis D. Rouge, I've been trying to do a lot of age gap math in One Piece. Excuse me. I may have discovered that Portcullis D. Rouge is actually 7 years older than Shanks. So when Shanks was 1, Portcullis D. Rouge was 8 years old. Now, as I mentioned before, Portcullis D. Rouge, we know that she lived on Balteria to deliver Ace, safely hide him from the government. But is that always where she lived? Did she grow up there? I don't believe so. Maybe if she did, okay. But I don't believe so. I don't. We have really next to nothing about her character except for the fact that she carried Ace. Now, her family name, Portcullis, that is detrimental to where we are now in the story, given the God Valley flashback. The Portcullis name, I think that we have yet to discover that the Portcullis name is either royalty, noble connected, if not nobles themselves, but connected somehow to the nobles and celestials. How are they connected? It could be just a rich family, possibly. Like, what if Rouge actually came from wealth, and they were actually doing good things with their wealth, and this may have got looked down on by the celestials and the nobles, like, you should live like us. Treat people like dirt. Why are you so nice to commoners? Who knows? I believe that Rouge comes from a royal family, and the Portcullis family at that. You know, who knows? Like, we don't know if Rouge had siblings or not. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and assume that she does have siblings. And that's what I'm getting at. The woman in this new spoiler for the new upcoming chapter 1158, the mother of Shamrocks and Shanks, is no doubt, I'm calling this full out, I believe that this woman is no doubt the elder sister of Portcullis D. Rouge. Yes, I believe that she actually is maybe, how can I say this? What's 7 plus, let's say 18. 7, 18. Yeah, So, I believe that Rouge might have been 18 years younger than her sister. Possibly. If not 17 years younger than her sister, you know? Because Shanks' mom, I assume she was not like young when Shanks was born. When I say like teen age, I believe that she was like maybe in her early 20s. But Rouge, like I said, I predict to be 7 years old when Shanks was born, but 8 years old at the time of God Valley, because I think she's 7 years older than Shanks. Now, (24 minus 7, that's 17. But let's say she may have been older. You know, what if she had Shanks 8 plus 17? Okay, so if Rouge was 8 years old, and let's say Shanks is 1, then Shanks was born the year prior when Rouge was 7. Now let's advance that up. Put Rouge back at 8 years old. This is just me spitballing here, because I'm still trying to. I'm doing my research, but you gotta understand. Let's say Rouge is 8 years old. 8 plus 17, that's 25. So this woman might be around 25 years old at this time. This red-haired woman that we have yet to meet, which is upcoming in the new chapter 1158. Now, like I said, I predict she's the elder sister of Porcus D. Rouge, and I also predict that the Porcus family may have been prominently raised on God Valley, meaning that that's their origin. Like the origin of the Porcus family may have started on God Valley. You know, and God Valley is in the West Blue. Shanks was born in the West Blue. Shanks was born clearly around God Valley in that kingdom. So Shanks, I wouldn't say he's even a celestial or anything. I wouldn't even say Shamrock is a celestial, like naturally born a celestial. Shamrock got adopted into nobility and royalty and whatnot, you know. And still, I don't look at Garling or Shamrock as celestials. They're nobles. They're prominent nobles at that. So they're connected to the celestials and they have to serve them. But given that, Shanks is not a celestial either. He chose to be a great pirate, chose to be a great man, because he was obviously raised under a different influence than what Shamrock, you know, came about, his upbringing, being taken by Garling. How did Garling take these babies? Like, I think that Garling may have won one of them during the contest. But however, the events of God Valley may have gotten, like, what if Garling was actually trying to win both twins, right? And yet they got separated due to the events of God Valley, obviously, and the turmoil and the infighting and whatnot that happened. But yet Shanks ended up on Zebek's ship. So did Zebek know Shanks was there? Like, did he purposely take Shanks as celestial leverage? Like, yo, I'll give you this child back if my demands are met, something like that. Or did he just take it just to take, did he take Shanks just to take Shanks anyway? Because what member on the Rock's crew is going to randomly take Shanks as a baby unless they thought it was a devil fruit? But even then, they probably would have opened it right then and there, right? What if Zebek got to Shanks and Shamrocks, opened up the chest, took Shanks, and maybe didn't check for Shamrock? Or were they already separated at that point? We don't know. This is got my head spinning, man. But the woman in this chapter is no doubt, I have no doubt that this is the elder sister of Porcus D. Rouge. I think that God Valley is going to flesh out more of the Porcus name and the Porcus family tree. Because I believe the Porcus family is connected to celestials and nobles. How are they connected? Whether they were outright royalty themselves or just affiliated so heavy that they were recognized as like friends of royalty, so you can get treated good if you got good ties with the royals. But what is this woman's name? I'm curious. We finally get to meet Shanks and Shamrock's mother, but I know I got a feeling that Porcus is in her name. And also, we don't know the real name of Shanks. We know that Shamrock, Figurlin Shamrock, Garling Shamrock, whatever. We know that it said that Shamrock was the son of Garling, and I believe that like that's applied by adoption. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's applied because it didn't say the birth son. It just said son of Garling. You know what I'm saying? Look at Whitebeard. All those people on the ship were his sons, and not by like biologically. They were claimed as his sons. Who says that same concept can't be applied to the celestials and higher ups of nobility and whatnot? So given that Shanks and Shamrocks are brothers, they're not really born Celestials. They're not really born nobles. They might be. Now, hold on. They're not born Celestials, but they might be, like, they may have birthright as nobles, considering the woman that birthed them. Because for Garling to notice this woman, it says that, how can I say? Says that the great one, Emu, will be pleased. I believe that they're both connected to the Porkis family. So what if Shanks and Shamrock's real names happen to be Porkis something Shamrock, Porkis D Shanks? Because well, damn, if Shanks is a D, which I have no doubt that Shanks is a D, that would technically make Shamrocks a D. So the Garling took one of these D children and essentially raised them up to corrupt fate. And because what if Shamrock was not raised by that? What if Shamrock got raised by regular common folks or somewhere out, like, just, let's not even say pirates. What if Shamrocks was raised by regular people and Shanks was still raised by pirates? They would both be on course to have a big change to the history of the world. Either way with how it's playing out now, they both still have a role to play significantly with the events that are going down in the end game that we're in. Now, Shamrock and Shanks, I believe they're both D's. They both have to be D's. It's just we got a D clan member who's raised by Celestials and Nobles. Then we got another D clan member who's raised by pirates. So it's a yin yang there for them both being twins. They're both children of fate. And I hope we get to see an interaction between them, bro. Because Shanks did go back to the Holy Land. Now, how would that interaction go? I believe Shamrocks may have tried to fight him. I hope we see a Shanks and Shamrocks fight. I really do. I know there's siblings and whatnot. Brothers shouldn't be fighting like that, but with the way they were raised differently, I hope that we see an interaction between them, man. I really do. So, moving on. I'm gonna keep saying that this woman that we're gonna meet, who is the mother of Shanks and Shamrock, I have no doubt in my mind this is the elder sister of Rouge. I have no doubt in my mind that Porkis D. Rouge had family members and siblings, but we never got to see any of them. We don't know anything about Rouge's family background at all. But we can't afford to not assume that Rouge didn't come from a family. Obviously, right? She was born. Now, as far as her parents, we don't know who they are. Siblings, we don't know who they are. But this might be the start of getting to the background of the Porkis family with this new chapter. And yeah, man, I'm gonna keep covering more on this because, like I said, man, I'm the one who predicted this. I'm big stepper over here, man. I'm calling this Hefe on this theory, man. So Shanks and Shamrock's mother may be the elder sister of Porkis D. Rouge. I know the evidence is far-fetched because I'm just speculating on my thoughts and whatnot, but from what we've seen in the story, from what I've read, you know what I'm saying, and just interpreted from the dialogue and the context of it, the Porkis family is connected to nobility in a way. I could easily say, oh, they're a family of nobles, because they could be. Shanks is born in the West Blue, but specifically we know he was born around God Valley. He was one at God Valley, which means he was more than likely born in that area of God Valley. So then you got the fact that people already connect Shanks and Shamrock to celestial relation and connection and whatnot. Like we are gonna be in our bag about this one. But imagine that Gold Roger having a baby with a noble connected woman, Rouge. What if Rouge is connected to nobles? And what if she had siblings and her parents and her family, the Porkis family, had a background of nobility connections, if not nobles themselves? Do you know what this would do to the story? This means that royalty had a baby with a pirate. You know? It's all coming together somehow, man. Somehow, some way. Of course, we need more info on this, so I'm gonna get back on this immediately when the next chapter comes out. But yeah, you heard it here first, man. This woman This woman in the upcoming chapter of 1158, this woman is no doubt the elder sister of Porcus D. Rouge and the mother of Shanks the Shamrocks. I can't wait to find out her name. I'm just geeked to find out her name. We have to know this woman's name. And if Oda does not introduce her name in this chapter, he will in the next. But oh my god, if Oda does not introduce her name, that just adds more to my confirmation and the mystery that this woman is a Porcus family member. Now, if she is a Porcus family member, we're gonna be assuming that Shanks' name is Porcus D. Shanks, which it more than likely is. I'm telling you, because listen, if you look at Shanks and Ace, take away Ace's freckles, change Shanks' hair color black, and remove his scar, you got twin identical cousins right there. Shanks and Ace could easily pass for twins if you take away Shanks' scar, change his hair color black, and remove Ace's freckles. Those three traits, remove those traits, you got identical twins if you look at Shanks and Ace. So Shanks and Ace are related, and also this means that Shamrock is related to Ace as well as cousins. The mother of Shanks and Shamrock has to be the sister of Porcus D. Rouge. So that would make Shanks, Shamrock, and Ace biological cousins. I know this is like, I know you probably are disagreeing, laughing, making fun of me. I don't care, but this is my prediction and theories. This is just my prediction, and I know my prediction will come true. I have been wrong. I admit I've been wrong on some things, but I've been half right in my wrong. So I'm still right in a way, man. You know, the way Oda executes this, it's so genius because he keeps you on a twist and turn, and you're satisfied with it. So that's all I'm gonna get into for now, man. I got more coming for y'all. We're gonna wait till I read the chapter, man, and I'm gonna get back with y'all. This has been amazing, man. You guys are amazing out there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, taking the time just to hear me out. But like I said, man, this woman in the next chapter, holding Shanks and Shamrock in the carriage or her arms or whatever, who Garland discovered, because this was my favorite spoiler out of the recent spoilers that got out. This woman, I'm gonna say it, is the elder sister of Porcus D. Rouge, and obviously the biological mother of Shanks and Shamrock. Children of Destiny, man. Children of Destiny. So we got more to find out. So that's all I got for you. This is JD Rich signing off, man. A piece of life is life in one piece. Peace. Rest easy.